Hey, welcome back to Behind Her Eyes podcast. This is episode 2, where I am your host, Madeline Jones, mentor, visionary, and owner of Behind Her Eyes Mentoring, LLC. Hey, beautiful girl, I came back this week just for you. Yes, I'm talking about you. I hope that you have had an opportunity to go back and check out our introduction in episode 1 of who we are and what we stand for. And if you haven't, you still have time. But this week I came back a little bit more structured because I wanted to dive into a topic that us young ladies seem to struggle with. And I can only talk about it because it was one of my own. And the topic I decided to discuss this week was self-worth and value. Those words are some strong words. And it wasn't until, since I'm going to be transparent with my own story, it wasn't until I realized who I was and whose I was that I understood my self-worth. In understanding my self-worth, I understood what I meant to others. I understood how I needed to care for myself, and I understood how I needed to invest in myself and be accountable to myself. So this week's topic again is value. And if we want to look at it, let's look at the definition. Value is defined as regard something that is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. I challenge you to take a moment and ponder even for your own self. What is your self-worth? What is your value? You most likely have never thought to ask yourself those questions, maybe because of things you've endured, situations you've had to encounter, guilt of your past mistakes and your failures. Great thing about life is you don't have to use those things as your identity. Or honestly, you probably have never even seen yourself the way our Creator, our God, sees you. And that most likely is the gist of it all. So today, I decided that I needed to go a little further with you and express just a few things to get you to understand who you really are and what our God says about you. It is impossible to negotiate your value until you first understand your worth. Beautiful girl, I've got 3 points for you today on tonight's episode to tell you. In order to understand your worth, you need to understand, number 1, you were ransomed not with perishable things such as silver or gold, but with the precious blood of Christ. 1 Peter 1, 18 through 19. Number 2, beautiful girl, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms 139 and 14. Number 3, you are more valuable than rubies. Proverbs 31 and 10. Do you possibly understand now who you are and how much you're worth? You don't have to walk around in the shame of things that are not your fault. You do not have to walk around in the guilt of your past. Today is a good day to free yourself by forgiving yourself. You are not a victim. You are valued and victorious. You are worth all the happiness in the world. You are worth being loved. You are more valuable than you could even recognize. Today is your day, beautiful. And from this day forward, you shall never question your value again. Until next time, I leave this with you. This was my affirmation when I struggled trying to figure out what I was worth. And I had to tell myself, beautiful, I am valued and valuable. And beautiful girl, I reaffirm you by God. Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord will fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1 and 45. This is Behind Her Eyes podcast. This is where the platform has been set for every girl to tell her story. You can follow us on Facebook at Behind Her Eyes Mentoring, LLC. You can follow us on YouTube at Behind Her Eyes Mentoring, LLC. You can follow us on Instagram at BHE Mentoring 2020. You can always follow us here on Spreaker every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Know who you are. Know whose you are. You're valuable. And good night.